So the T-72B3 might be receiving a new version, the B3A. Yes, that version was leaked. We already talked a little bit about it, but let's try to dive down on the vehicle itself and try to see what it will actually be like if the leaks are true. Okay, so I don't want the video to be too long, so let's just hop right into it. And just before we get into it, guys, I just really wanted to do something that my wife has been asking me to do basically for a very long time. Basically, guys, my GPU is not cutting anymore, okay? GPUs here in Brazil cost an immense amount of money. Just for you to have an idea, 5070 here in Brazil is around $1,000. It can vary depending on sale. It can be like 800, 1,200. It depends on the sale and the price, right? But it's around $1,000, almost twice as much, I think, in the US. You let me know in the comments how much it is in the US. But basically, guys, she was asking me, as you know, right now, if you look on the screen, I'm having troubles with FPS and stuff. My GPU is not cutting too much anymore. And I'm just going to create basically this kind of a donation thing just after the Patreon and members, you know, and with that you can donate, and every single money that I get from there I will be putting to improve the quality of the channel, so getting a new GPU basically, right? So of course you can leave a message on PayPal and stuff for the name that you want to be put it in there on the screen, but every single day I will try to update this, and every single update after the members, after the Patreons, the donations will appear there, and once I get the GPU I will basically stop doing that, right? It's just for the GPU. So if you want to help the channel, having troubles with FPS in War Thunder and some other games, so mainly War Thunder, because of course I'm recording and editing at the same time and everything. So if you want to help the channel out, I know it's a lot to ask. I mean, 50 cents, $1, I don't care. I mean, it helps immensely because it's so expensive, a GPU here, that I just cannot buy it with the normal amounts of money over here. I have to, of course, live out of this money that I get from YouTube as well, right? So buy food, buy stuff, right? So it's just a little thing. My wife asked for it. I kind of promised to her that I would try to do this. I don't like to ask for stuff like this, but if you really want to help the channel, that's it. This is the message. Sorry to bother you guys, and yeah, let's go. First of all, I just have to say there is technically two variants that are called B3A, but we're gonna get to that later, okay? In a general sense, the B3A will be a modification of the B3M, or the 2016 one that we have when you get the upgrades on your normal B3 on War Thunder. That will introduce basically two modifications to it. Probably there is more things, but these will be the two main ones, okay? So this is what the B3A was supposed to be initially, you know. It was basically the introduction of the Arena A, or sorry, Arena M APS system to basically intercept any type of missile coming, or even, you know, RPGs and stuff coming towards the tank, right? So it would be basically the same tank that we have in the game right now, the B3 that we have in the game with the upgrade, so the B3M, right? But from 2016, but with the Arena M APS. That would be the main thing, you know. It would be a Russian tank T-72 with that, okay? But also, apparently, they were trying to introduce the Nakitka thermal masking tarp. So apparently above the ERA, they basically are introducing a thermal masking tarp that would basically try to limit the amount of infrared signature that the tank is creating, making sure that thermal imaging systems would be way harder to detect them, actually. Kind of weird phrasing, but you get the idea, right? So we would have basically a more stealthy tank on the terms of thermal systems. I don't know how that works. Even in the, you know, the picture that we saw from the tank that was leaked from the CDK, it doesn't have that, right, that tarp, but it does have the, you know, the APS system on that model, right? So what I think it will be is, for now at least, I don't know if they're gonna add the tarp or not, but it will be basically the same tank that we have, but with a APS system. That's what it is, okay? There is another variant of the B3A that would be based off the B3M from 2022 for the Ukraine invasion and stuff. It would be a little bit different. It would be basically have a whole bunch more protection. It would have, a newer, or it would have a commander thermal system, and also it would have all sorts of upgrades to be able to fight against drones, for example, jamming and other things. Like, for example, on the turret itself, it would have kind of a protection, like, house. I don't know, how do you even describe this? I will leave a picture in the screen right now, and it would basically create a protection against drones and stuff. It would still have the thermal tarp, and of course it would have some other upgrades from the 2022 B3M as well, right? So there is this version as well, but I don't think it will be that version for now, at least because of the CDK model that we received. Okay, so just know that there are technically two T-72B3As. One older one that was pretty much just a prototype, I think, and then this one that they are planning to introduce into service. That it's based off of the B3M from 2022, okay, which is a little bit better. But like I said, doesn't matter too much because the version that we had in the CDK is the older one. So again, just a recap. A T-72B3M that we already have in the game with the upgrade, but with the B3UBH upgrade, right? But with the extra APS system, and also maybe the thermal tarp. Okay, so that's the idea. Everything else will be the same, the engine, the gun, everything will be the same, okay? And that's it. This is the B3A, that we will probably get according to the CDK and everything. Let's wait and see. And it will be a very cool tank. I just wonder if it's gonna be like a squadron vehicle or a proper tank, the Tech 3, a premium, maybe a premium, I don't know. Probably not a premium, right? I don't know. Anyway, I mean, it will be another T-72B, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you think about the T-72 with APS, and I see you guys on the next one. See ya, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, bye.